Welcome back to High Quality Organics, Introduction to Tea, Part 2. I'm Melissa, and today we're going to talk about how tea is harvested and processed. If you haven't already, you may want to check out Part 1 of this series, where we briefly cover the history of tea and how it's grown. Okay, so how do we get 6 different classes of tea from the same plant? Well, it has everything to do with when the tea was harvested and how it was processed and aged. The process of making tea is much like wine, when it is part science and part art form. There are basically 9 different steps: plucking, withering, disruption or tea maceration, oxidation and fermentation, fixation, sweltering or yellowing, rolling or shaping, drying, aging, or curing. The first stage, plucking, is removing the tea leaf and the blossom from the plant. How and when this is done varies depending on the type of tea you're trying to create. For example, if you want to produce a premium white tea, you would begin plucking early in the spring before the tea blossoms have opened, and you would only take the blossoms or the blossom and the first 2 leaves from each branch. If you want to produce a green or black tea, you would most likely wait until the blossoms have opened and pluck the first 1 to 3 leaves from each branch. After plucking, the leaves are placed in the sun or a cool, breezy room and allowed to wilt. This wilting process allows some of the excess moisture to be removed from the leaves and encourages the onset of oxidation. Just in case your chemistry is a little rusty, oxidation is a biochemical reaction where oxygen is absorbed by a compound. In our case, oxygen is being absorbed by the cells in a tea leaf. After wilting, the tea leaves are bruised, crushed or rolled by hand or machine to further break down cellular structure of the plant and enhance oxidation. This process is known as disruption or leaf maceration. Next, the leaves are left to further oxidize, often in a climate-controlled room. This step is the most important in determining the tea's taste, aroma, and strength. Some teas are not oxidized at all, like green tea, where others are completely oxidized, like black tea. The tea master has complete control of this and has fine-tuned their ability to determine the best oxidation level. When the tea master decides the tea needs to stop oxidizing, he gently heats the tea to stop the oxidation process. This step is called fixation or kill green. Traditionally, this was done in a heated wok, but now it's often done in a rolling drum. The next step is sweltering or yellowing. This is unique to yellow teas, which are not very common in the United States. The process is basically allowing the warm, damp leaves to sit in an airtight container for several hours, resulting in the leaves turning from green to yellow. Rolling or shaping of the tea leaves used to be a common practice for all teas, but now this practice is usually only left to premium teas, as it is usually done by hand or sophisticated machinery. The rolling or shaping is done to help release more of the tea's essential oils, resulting in a more intense flavor. Now it is time to finish the tea or dry it. Drying the tea can be done several different ways. There's air drying, sunning, panning, or baking. Sometimes tea masters will combine the fixation process, where the tea is slightly heated to stop oxidation, with the drying process to reduce costs and speed up production. And lastly, some teas are aged or cured. This step is needed for the same reason wine is aged, to smooth out some of the bitter or harsh taste a young vintage can have. This process is most commonly used for pu'er and oolong teas and is often directly associated with the value of the tea. For example, a pu'er tea that has been aged for several decades can be valued at several hundred or thousands of dollars. Well, I know that was a lot of information on how tea is processed. I hope you found the information helpful in understanding the foundation of teas. Be sure to check out our other videos on specific classes of tea. And as always, don't hesitate to reach out on our website, www.hqorganics.com, with your questions or comments. We were happy to be a resource for you as you explore the fascinating world of teas. Thanks for watching.